Made me a run to the glass shop, got me a sheet of itchy board, bucket of resin, picked up a few more of those little rolls of tabbing glass. Time to template up and get started on this transom. And for that, I use the old paper template method that I used on the Sea Hunter and on boats before. All right, also did a little cleanup around here. Stuff all over. I kind of picked up that mess of the floor. I was going to use that as a template, but it literally was just crumbling apart. So I just balled it up. I'll throw it in the dumpster. Anyways, so this method, if you've never used it, is very nice for smaller transoms. I guess you're probably working on a bigger one, but it works very well for smaller boats like this. Done the popsicle stick thing. Done about every method you can think of over the years. And this one's just easy and it works. So grab your roll of construction paper from the hardware store. It doesn't have to be the super expensive heavy duty like that. Doesn't have to be that ram board stuff. Regular floor covering stuff will work as long as it's not like really thin. Cut you a rough size, a little bit oversized, and you literally just press it in the corners. Kind of smooth it out as you go. We'll cut some pleats in there, some relief cuts. We'll get it all straight for the first go at it. Just gonna kind of jam it in there. Grab you a couple of these little spring clamps, usually $1 or $2 a piece. Start pulling it tight, clamping it down where you need it. Actually, what I am gonna do, grab a few more. Again, this is why you gotta clean your shop up. You gotta end up with clamps over here, clamps over there, tools every which way. Probably just spent 45 minutes picking up stuff. Yes. What did I just say? Picking up tools, splitting stuff. I got my knife I left over there. And it's going to climb in. Hate walking in boats without stringers or transom in them. They're so flimsy sometimes. And what you want to do is just press it down as flat, as tight as you can into these corners. You pull these clamps off and kind of pick up some of the slack if you need to. Okay, once you have it pretty close, grab an old Sharpie, crease it down, just push it in the corners, start drawing lines. Of course, marker's dying. One moment. Okay, where were we? Kind of fold it over here. You'll see this nice crease when you pull it out. Just kind of trace where your corners are and whatnot. There we go. Pull these clamps, and you have a pretty damn accurate transom template. That whole thing, including all my running back and forth for markers and clamps, took about 8 minutes. I'll edit it down so you don't have to watch all that. But anyways, now you got your crease line here, get your edges, and you just cut it out. What are you doing, Remy? Where are you? There you are. Hey, sweet boy. And also, I'm gonna cut this a little on the, cut it a little heavy, a little on the outside of the line. Just like anything else, very easy to cut more off, very hard to add more back on. There we go. Less than 10 minutes. We have our template. All right, go ahead and set it back in the boat just to make sure. Do your final trimming without all of it, flopping around, whatever, especially up around the top edges and all. But that fits pretty nice. All right, then I come back in for the final trimming. And just kind of push this up against here. Run the scissors right along the top like this. Use a razor knife, use whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you got. Probably should put a fresh blade in the razor knife, might be a little quicker here, but this is also being a little too anal about it. A little too perfect, but and then went all the way across. And then down on the bottom here, I'll come back, see if it'll pick up this angle. I'll come back with the razor knife. There's a few little spots you can see it's kind of gone, like right in here. It's kind of gone around. I gotta trim that much off. That's easy. Final fitting, a little bit in this corner. I'll probably trim off. Yep. Push down in there, get the razor knife, trim a little more of that off. But also a lot of this is going to get puttied too. If you got an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 inch cap, it's not the end of the world. Then press this Coosa in with some structural putty, and it's going to fill all these tiny little imperfections. But overall, 15 minutes worth of work. We got a pretty accurate little template here. And final steps, transfer this over to your core material. We're going to go and use Coosa for this one again. And nice thing about this is just under 24 inches. So that means on a 48-inch wide sheet of Coosa, I can do a top and a bottom and have about 1/3 of a sheet left over for bulkheads or supports, whatever else I need, but double this up. And so I don't know if you guys have shopped for Coosa lately, but they don't sponsor me, and this stuff's about $450 a sheet now for 3/4, which is outrageous. And I do get a little break on it, but still, I mean, that's crazy. An 1.5 inch sheet retail now is going for close to $800. So yeah, measure once, cuss twice for sure with this stuff now. All right, that worked well. Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, but I had to change blades in the middle because this stuff, I mean, it wrecks blades. Like, this thing is just trashed halfway through. So put a new one on. All right, you just buy them to go through them, unless you're buying like the really, really expensive ones. For a couple cuts, it's not worth it. It's cheaper to buy a little 4-pack and just plan to throw them away. But anyways, cut, see how she fits. Moment of truth. Not bad. Let's take a peek, see. See, it's got a little gap along the bottom still, and it's sticking up along the top just a bit, but that is because I didn't bevel cut it at all, and it's obviously not going to fit down in that corner. But overall, it's a good starting point. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and pull it out, and then lay it upside down, take the sander and just sand these corners all the way around, kind of round them off just enough, and then we can get it fit down in there perfect. Like I said, you can always cut more off, but you can't add it back on. So let's go ahead and do some final fitting, and then the second piece will cut to the same size as this. And since it's going to sit a little farther forward, you know, it's going to have a little more room. It should fit in a little tighter without the need for as much sanding. One more quick tip while sanding and test fitting and trying to get the final fitting of these Coosa pieces down into the transom. If you put them in place and kind of wedge them down in there, kind of hammer them down in with your fist a little bit, you'll see little spots where it's going to rub against the hull side, and those are the spots you need to do a little bit more sanding. And really, just like I said, you can always take more off. It's hard to put more on, so just kind of hit them one more time with the sander, those 3 spots, put it back in, kind of hammer it back down, pull it back out, see if there's any more rub spots, kind of look at it and visualize it, and just go over it a few times and slow and steady, and you'll get it in there perfect. Okay, little trim and fit and sanding. We're in good shape. It's pretty well. Haven't cut out the middle yet because we can do that whenever. Overall, I think we got a pretty good fit. So we are about ready to start bonding. Gotta get my putty first. That's on order. So it should be here soon. So I'll go ahead and get the second piece cut out. Same process. Probably won't film that. We'll dry fit that. And then, yeah, get ready for the good work. Okay, now that these are dry fit and I'm about to pull them out of the boat, very important tip, label them. So I've got port side of sheet 1, port side of sheet 2, transom side, sheet 1, write it all over, arrows, whatever you need, transom this way, transom this way. And that way, when you go and things are moving fast, you don't accidentally put one of these in backwards, because that can get messy real quick. So while I'm waiting for the putty, I'm gonna go ahead and get the glass cut. Another thing this paper template is really good for. Also, really nice, you get a 50-inch roll of glass and you have a 24-inch cutout. Leaves 24 for one half, and then you flip the template over to the other half and you get a little bit of overlap for the corners and whatnot. So really I'm just kind of laying this out and then cutting it with a razor knife, rolling them up, stacking them, labeling them 1, 2, 3. The one side, this is pretty much flush, the size of the transom. and this one has that overlap. And then number 3 is going to be, you know, flush again. You can see it's about 3-4 inches shorter. And then this one, the 4th layer, is going to be overlapping the seams a little bit. And then I've got lots of tabbing glass here. I'm going to run, you know, 2 or 3 additional tabs down each side and across the bottom, just to make sure it's all tied together well. All right, little sneak peek for y'all on how it did turn out. I think it tied together quite nicely. If you want to see that, go ahead and stay tuned. I was doing some editing tonight, and I was going to make this into one long video between the prepping, the templating, laying up the transom and everything, but it's over an hour long now, so we're going to go ahead and break it into 2 different videos. I'll link the second one's going to be right up here, so go ahead and subscribe if you're not, like, share, all the things. Thanks for making it this far in this one, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all in a minute.